Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, Conversations and Cocktails with Brilliant Women, the podcast where we uncork the stories and insights of exceptional female leaders from all walks of life. Our goal is to serve up wisdom, tips, and inspiration, and to support each other in rediscovering ourselves and what sets our souls on fire. We'll also share personal memories, paired with friends and a favorite beverage. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe that the best stories are served up over a glass of wine or a cocktail. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots. Charity.
Hi there.
It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are you in this world?
Well, right now I am in Puerto Penasco, Sonora, Mexico.
Nice.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah, I've been here a couple months now. So I have a house here and in Phoenix.
In Phoenix. Okay, very good.
Mm.
Nice. Okay, I'm in Sarasota, Florida, and it's cold.
Ooh, yeah, it was
for Florida.
It is. I love Florida though. It's been my family's from there, so it's a great place to visit.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a place in Iowa too. So do the sun chasing thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, my family's from Des Moines. I used to go to Iowa like
For real?
like every summer I go to Des Moines to visit my great uncle who owned Sorensen's Health Gym. He was like one of the first bodybuilders in the
Nice.
1940s,
Oh
50s.
my gosh.
And like a health gym, it was kind of like a new thing, like dumbbells and stuff. So he was kind of famous in Des Moines for
That's
his
very cool.
gym, yeah. And as a kid growing up, I would go work there for the summer.
Wow. What a small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Des Moines for a few years, about 15. Early, like after college and before snowbirding.
Yes. Oh, I love being a snowbird for sure. Because I'm originally from Oregon and it's rainy and cold there all the time.
Oh, it's beautiful, but yeah, it is kind of chilly and damp.
It's very lush and very green, but very
green.
wet. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So I ran away to Arizona, like, oh, I'm finally, my daughter's in her 20s, and my, loved ones that were, ailing had passed away. And I felt like I did everything I could there to like, grow. And so I moved to Arizona.
Good for you.
Yeah. Like the first person out of 4 generations of my family to leave the state. So it was kind of like everyone was like, no, don't go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can
Yeah.
still come back and visit, that's the thing.
Yeah.
People are around or wherever you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And okay, so I was looking something, I was checking out your social profiles and stuff, and you work with entrepreneurs, but also businesses, right? And corporate. So I guess just tell us what you do and give us your own definition or description of what you do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a hybrid coach and consultant. I do high-level CFO consulting because I've been an accountant since 1999. Wah, wah. There's not a lot of joy in that profession, but if you're a numbers person, you can get creative with it. But I'm a more people person, so I like the kind of, working with the business owners, helping scale their businesses, creating live plans and business GPS to help people get dialed into the key areas to, be successful in their business, usually using numbers and different software and mentors and coaches. So my platform, Create Clarity with Charity, is that high-level hybrid coaching and consulting platform where I help entrepreneurs and business owners dial into their key business metrics and plans and goals and help them stay accountable to their goals.
Wow, yeah. That's great. So you're blending the best of both worlds. You have the numbers side, which a lot of entrepreneurs and creatives are. It's not our wheelhouse.
Yeah, and you kind of need college for it. So it's like one of those degrees that like you kind of have to, it's like being a doctor or a nurse or, an attorney. You have to go to school for it. So a lot of people are like turned off by it because math has never been anyone's favorite subject, right?
Very
So,
few. I mean, well, yeah. I'm fortunate to have so my husband's really into math and our two sons, one's an actuary and the other teaches math.
oh,
So,
wow, awesome. But see,
so
they're
yeah,
men, so women in math are different.
exactly. Exactly.
I'm a
Exactly.
minority always in the classroom, so yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how did you get into what you do? What led you to it?
Um, well, in 1999, I graduated with a degree in business and accounting. I was a young mom. I actually started out as a beautician. I was a nail
Wow.
tech when I was 18, 19 and started my salon. And that was before I was pregnant in my little small town that I grew up in. And I just thought like all these clients are just going to come coming through the door, like all my friends were going to show up when I turn the open sign on, right? But that's not really how it works. I mean, you have a few people that will support you, but to support a business, it takes a lot more, to do that.
Hmm.
And I didn't know anything about business. And so while I was waiting for my book of business to fill up, I started taking classes at the junior college while I was building my beauty business. And so that's what got me into, business and accounting. Because I had never like as a kid, I'd never thought, oh, I want to be an accountant. Like, of course, like it was never like my,
Big
you know,
dream.
no. But what happened was I went to school and I got a business transfer degree to get into Oregon State University. And my grandpa, who was an economics professor, was mentoring me and helping me and supporting me through
Nice.
yeah. And so he was like, look at the paper, and find what kind of jobs are there in the paper? And he's like,
Mm.
just study the Sunday Times every time it comes out and just look at all the jobs. Like, wow, there's a lot of jobs in accounting, numbers, accounts payable, payroll, money, all these jobs all the time. He's like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
you will never be without a job if you know your numbers. So
Yeah.
so I started taking accounting one, two, three, and then I was like, wow, I'm actually pretty good at this. So
Yeah, cool.
I kept going. And so yeah, when I graduated, I started my own bookkeeping business, at payroll and bookkeeping business. I had
Uh-huh.
one client, her name was Janet. She was like my first
Aw.
real mentor. Like she was amazing. She was just like a guiding light in my life. Because she was my first client and she also supported me when I was pregnant because I was pregnant the last year of college with my daughter Juliana. And, you know, I was, struggling and she
Hmm.
supported me because I didn't have a lot of support at that time. I actually remember her just kind of being like that mom I always needed to help me
Oh,
as a mom.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
so she was great and she like was my first client and she owned like an airplane and like a commerce center and like had
Holy
contracts with
cow.
like UPS and like so I got this big account, like multi-million dollar account. Like
Wow.
yeah. So before I was even graduated, I was already making like $100,000 a year in my business as a bookkeeper and
Dang.
accountant. Yeah. So I ditched the beautician business because
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying my bills. It was kind of, being a freelancer and it's
Yeah.
kind of hard. And so, yeah, and that was how I got into the numbers. Like she really trusted me and I found somebody embezzling and her commerce
Oh.
center out of state. And so that's how I knew I got confident in my numbers because I
Uh-huh.
actually really caught a thief.
Wow.
So at that point, then I started working for small businesses and helping them get out of trouble with the
Hmm.
IRS filing and a lot of restaurants, car lots, security companies. Um, and then I got into the restaurant business and opened my own restaurant and
Oh,
yeah, I had five lottery
holy
facilities.
cow.
Uh-huh. But it was hard. I was like, all my money that I was making was from my accounting business, and I was filtering it into the restaurants, and it was just
Right.
eating up all my money and my
Yeah.
time and my sanity. So that's when I had my, yeah, that's when I like literally got burnt out, you
Yeah.
know?
I could see that.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So
Yeah.
why did you what was it about the restaurant business that drew you in, or what attracted you to it?
Well, the money, well, because I had a client who had like 5 restaurants,
Uh-huh.
and I was in charge of like, the financials and payroll and all that stuff. So I was like, I think I could do this. I could make a ton of money. And my friends owned a restaurant and they were right next door to my office and they needed help. So they gave me 50% partnership to come in and clean up all their accounting stuff. So I used
Okay.
my equity, my sweat equity to get positioned in the restaurant business. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's interesting how those opportunities just pop up and then, yeah, you just follow this path.
Yeah. And then I was doing that for like 15 years and it just burnt me out completely. I ended up selling my restaurants, and then moving to Portland out of my small town where I grew up
Mm-hmm.
and worked for a big corporation that had 25 locations in Portland area. The Pizzicatos, the Lovejoy bakeries, and the Sal's Italian restaurants. And I was their corporate controller. So then I got into
Oh, wow.
corporate hospitality restaurant business, multiple
Uh-huh.
chains, multiple franchises. That was a lot and it was not
Uh-huh.
fun. And that is probably where I had my literally like midlife crisis where I
Mhm.
lost all the joy in finding what I love to do in life. Was in a dysfunctional relationship. I was raising my daughter who was kind of an unruly teen at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we
So
were. Yeah.
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 So, yeah, and
Mhm.
then that's what I wrote my book on, the Create Clarity with Charity book, and the podcast that I have and is all about, you know, finding the happiness factor, coming back
Uh-huh.
from resilient, being
Oh, I love
resilient and
that.
yeah, overcoming, failures and kind of despair because I lost a lot of people. My loved ones passed away, like all within
Mm.
like 5 years. I lost 5 people that were like my solids, and so
Mm.
that also impacted my mental health, my physical well-being. I pretty much lost sight of anything that, made me joyful, happy, and free, and was
Mm-hmm.
just spiraling into doom and gloom. And I gained like 80 pounds. I've lost over 100 pounds in the last, like 6 years ago. I lost
Wow.
all
Good
the
for
weight.
you.
Yeah, because I gained a ton of weight because I was on all these
Mm-hmm.
steroids and drugs because I had these massive back surgeries. I had to have 2 back surgeries. Um, and they were just back then they were just popping us full of Vicodin and steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get the prescriptions they were giving us was like 90 to 100 and they would refill it every 2 weeks. And so they were just keeping me medicated and not giving me the surgery. And so I
No
blew up.
fix.
No fix. It was just medicating,
Yeah.
and, it just took me into a very ugly place and I
Mm-hmm.
gained all this weight and, I had to decide, at
Yeah.
that point, am I going to be, you know, kind of on Social Security or,
Yeah.
a
What
vegetable on the
happened? Yeah.
couch? Or
Uh-huh.
am I going to beat this? Am I going to take my power back and find out what really
Mm.
matters to me and what
Mm-hmm.
makes me happy and how I can do that each day? And that's how the 9 steps to inner freedom came about.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, what a, we just put one foot in front of the other. It feels like, to me anyway, that we get caught in a rut sometimes, that, okay, this is what I have to do, these are my responsibilities, this is what I need to do, so I'm going to put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
And it leads you down a path, but then it's like you said, you didn't have a conscious decision. It took kind of a wake up call to find, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like,
Mhm.
follow your joy and to turn it around. And when you follow, don't you feel too like when you follow your joy, that brings the good things. That's going to bring the money instead, and the success, and the where you're helping and serving other people, rather than
Mhm.
just putting one foot in front of the other. But we lose sight of that.
Yes. Yeah, and that's, I'm always an empath and a giver. Like I'm a giver,
Mm-hmm.
giver, giver, hence the name, but I really try to live up to my name. Yes. I don't know why my parents named me that. I guess it's pretty, but it's a great thing to be able to be of service to others, but when you're depleted yourself and your cup isn't
Yeah.
full and you continue giving, then it leads to a place of resentment. And,
Yeah.
overgiving can cause a lot of depression and
Hmm.
feeling unworthy and unloved and all that. And so I had to learn how to undo all that
Yeah.
because I was doing that. I was self-sacrificing for
Yeah. And that
others.
doesn't serve anyone. You're not, it doesn't really help the people that you want to help
Right.
by being that constant giver and being in that space.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of like one day, literally, I remember laying in bed and I used to have to
Mm.
crawl to get out of bed in the morning because of
Oh
my back
man.
surgeries. It was so
Uh-huh.
bad. It was so bad that I would be in so much pain that I couldn't even, walk. Um, and I was like, this is it. Like, I'm
Mm.
gonna get up. And I stood up in pain, literally. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
I'm
gosh.
done.
Oh
I was
wow.
literally with
It's a
that
switch.
conviction. It was a switch. And it happened when I started doing, I think it's the 57 steps with Tai Lopez. So I'm laying in bed healing from this back surgeries. I'm on workers'
Yeah.
comp. I'm miserable. I am in this dysfunctional relationship. I'm breaking up with my fiance. My daughter's being unruly. I'm like, I gotta change my life. Like everything is just not working. So I saw this course, the 57 steps with Tai Lopez, shift your life, change your life. And while as I was going through those steps, while I was healing, the light went on. And so
Mm.
that's why I really push mentorship and coaching programs because they do work. The shift for the transformation is there if
Mm-hmm.
you have a framework that
Yeah.
works and you have
Yep.
somebody who has really done it and
Yep.
he's nailed some of those amazing coaching programs and that helped me take my life back. At
Uh-huh.
that incident in time, I was like, there's nothing going to stop me. I'm going to be who I was, who I wanted to be 10 years ago, who I wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
now. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give up on it. And I wrote out my vision, my plan. I started doing my dream boards. I started putting like all
Nice.
the happy, joyful things around me. I was locking the door on people that weren't bringing me joy,
Oh, there you
you know.
go. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
You
it
were
was a
ready.
I was ready. Yeah,
You
because
had
I
the
was
right
either gonna
program and you were ready.
yeah. Yeah. And it worked. So like ever since then, because
Yeah.
not even just the mental side of it, I also
Uh-huh.
got some amazing business coaches out of it that helped me
Mm.
start Now Answer Group, which is the consulting firm that was endorsed by Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank
I
on my
saw
5-star
that.
business accelerator.
Very cool.
Yes. Yeah.
How
It
did
all started
you?
manifesting after I
Yeah.
just yeah.
It brings more. That's like a momentum thing, right? You get in this
Yeah. The
groove.
momentum was like because I do it every day. My morning power hour. I look at my dream board. I look at my goals. I get out in nature and go for a walk instead of laying there in
Nice.
pain and feeling sorry for
Oh.
myself. Get
Mhm.
up. The only one who can change your life is yourself. You have to want
Right.
it so bad because I could have easily gave up and
Yeah.
just lived off the state or something and like been
Yeah.
disabled and
And
just
no
kind
one
of
would
gave
blame
up
you
on.
for that.
Yeah,
If
they
you're in
would.
that amount of pain and yeah, to turn yourself around like that is big. It's not an easy task, and it's really inspiring to hear you talk about it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
hard. And I wrote about it in my book. Um, it really is a testament for women. We face a lot of adversity over,
Mm-hmm.
men in business, being taken seriously,
Mm-hmm.
being respected, having people, really be in it for the right reason with you, not trying to take advantage of
Mm.
you or, you know,
Yeah.
you got to be on your P's and Q's. And so that can take a toll, to feel unsupported, or not have enough resources because there wasn't these
Mm.
podcasts and these coaching programs back then when I went to beauty school. I mean, I guess I did go to a Tony Robbins convention when I was like 19, and that did shift my life for when I went into the beauty business because I was
Yeah.
so lost. I was a lost teen. And I
Planted a
was just,
seed.
yeah. And he planted that seed in me then. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I just always encourage, get a coach, do those seminars, go to the rah-rah seminars, get a coach, get a consultant, get some framework, always put yourself first when you wake up in the morning. What is your goals today? What does your best life look like? How are you doing? Measuring your targets and things, and then do everything else for everyone else. Because
Yeah.
then you're full, you feel clear and have the clarity on your success, what success looks like, what, a happy, joyful life looks like. What are you doing? Where are you at? Who are you with?
Mm.
How much money are you making? Who's helping you? And if you can close your eyes and see that vision of what you look like, then you're going to get
Yes. Your future
yeah,
self.
your future self. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's a lot of the same thing that I preach.
Yay, I saw that. Yes, I love that. I have
Yes,
on your show because I'm like,
absolutely.
yes, of course.
It's a good fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about your book. What are the principles, and like tell our listeners what you
Yeah.
discuss.
So I have the Create Clarity with Charity book that I wrote during COVID. I was
Oh gosh.
isolated in my little box for way too long, as we all
Yeah.
were. So it helped me process, a lot of the wounding and things I needed to heal. And so the book is about that. I did come from adversity. My mom was like 14 when she had my brother and almost 16 when she had me. And I came from, a very alternative, let's say,
Uh-huh.
childhood. So, not having the right idea of who I was going to be when I grew up, like I literally can only think that all I wanted to be was a mom. That's like I would just play in the kitchen and
Yeah.
play with my baby dolls. I didn't think businesswoman, or like,
Hmm.
oh, accountant or anything like that. So I kind of had to stumble through
Yeah.
my pre-adulthood, and so
Uh-huh.
I wrote about those challenges in my book at the beginning, because I did take the alternative way. Like I dropped out of high school, I got my GED, and that was always frowned on.
Oh, yeah.
I was already labeled a loser, because my
Mm.
brother was a loser, or my mom was a teen mom, or whatever. All
Hmm.
societal norms put me in this box of failure,
Yeah.
loser.
Mm.
And so I had to carry that around with me, and the lack of support, from people just assuming since these are the conditions that I'm from, that I'm going to be a loser. So I had to fight every day. And I decided I am not going to be a loser.
That's
I don't
not
care
me.
what they say. Like
Hmm.
I hate high school. Like everyone was so catty. It was so annoying. Like I got my GED. It took me like my grandma drove me to the test. I didn't even study for it and I passed it. And then I went to beauty school before I was even 18, and I was because I wanted to do
Your own thing.
beautician stuff.
Hmm.
Um so I wrote about that and the challenges of, being unsupported and having all these issues of shame issues, about failure, because no one ever teaches you when you're young. It's okay to fail.
Right.
It's okay not to fit into everyone's box. Like
Yeah.
it is okay to be yourself and to find your own way. And that's about kind of the foundation of the book, is like to find your passion, to really dial in and pick yourself up from failures.
Hmm.
How do you overcome, those negative ego voices in your head that were planted there when you're a child, when it has to do with relationships with, you know, men or money or
Hmm.
other people or your self-worth. And
Hmm.
so it has a lot to do about how to build that. And there's the 9 steps to the inner freedom
Mm.
that I am certified in. My other mentor, Alan Knight, former Zen monk, he created this 9 steps to inner freedom, and
Wow.
he licensed me, and I've been working with him for many years. And so there is this very strategic way that you can forgive yourself and others, get rid of the resentment and all the heavy baggage we carry around that then follows us into our reality as adults.
Mm.
And and so I practice these 9 steps and teach them,
Mm.
to um, dial yourself in and kind of get calibrated for your best life. And the
Oh,
book talks
wow.
about how I got to that point. How down did I have to go to
Mm.
find the light, kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. So that's what that book's about. I wrote like 4 micro series after that. I took that book and I made little short books.
Oh, great.
One's like Ignite Limitless. Well, the first one's Living Boldly, because that was
Uh-huh.
always, oh, you're so bold. How bold are you to just do what you feel is right when we all think you need to be doing this, you know?
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Expectations from somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick yourself and be like, what am I
Yeah.
passionate about? What do I like to do? And even if my mom and dad, they want me to, be a doctor or a lawyer, or, maybe they don't have any goals for me, whatever. You need to find that. And how people
Yeah.
are like, how do I find that? Because it's not something that you just sit down on the couch and all of a sudden you're like, I know what it is. I'm meant to be a
Mm-hmm.
coach and a consultant. That's it. Yeah, I'm going to go spend 15 years failing so I can help people not fail.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of like one of those. The book is like my legacy project. I want to rewrite it again and again and again because I think there's so many things that I left out.
Oh, we
Um,
evolve, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's the goal anyway, is to keep reinventing, keep evolving and keep getting better so that we
yeah,
can be better for others and for ourselves.
yeah. And that's the great thing about it is life is all about learning and
Yeah.
resiliency, and that we are resilience. Like humans are so resilient. Like the things that we can go through and
Mm-hmm.
then be
Yeah.
back and um success the following year is just like wow. Just don't get stuck in the past.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of ways to work through those kinds of emotions and
Mm-hmm.
things. I've done a lot of workshops, a lot of
Yeah.
retreats, a lot of help from mentors, coaches, and practitioners that have mastered the art of, you know, reprogramming ourselves,
Right.
learning to love ourselves more.
Yeah. Something you mentioned earlier about, as kids, um, we're not really taught to fail, or
Mhm.
how to get out of that. Because everybody's going to fail at something, some point.
Mhm.
And life is not a continuous upward trajectory where everything gets better and better and better. At some point, you face something like you have, as a kid, you have a test that you fail or a project that doesn't go your way, or you're not, not everybody's an A student. So you're going to have those adversities that you have to figure out, and to be equipped to know that, okay, that failure doesn't define you.
Right.
It's a
And
learning
that's
thing.
it's the best teacher. Failure
Yeah,
is the best teacher. And it hurts and stings until you realize,
yeah,
actually, what can I learn from this? And I started, so
exactly.
in the restaurant business, they fail fast. So, and when you launch new businesses, you want to fail
Yikes.
first fast. Like, just launch it. It's gonna fail.
Just do
Okay.
it.
Just do it. And then you
Yeah.
got to get in that, okay, it's a game now. Instead of that, feeling, you take
Yeah.
that emotion and you get
That
excited
fear.
about it.
Yeah.
Fear, fear factor, try to re-steer that emotionality because,
Yeah.
it's just a given. It's part of life. And they don't
Mm-hmm.
teach us that when we're young. They think
Mm-mm.
failure's bad. You feel like failure, like, oh man, right? Like, um, but it's okay. And the kids need to know that. Like, that's why you're in school is to fail so you learn. Fail, learn, fail, learn, fail, learn. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're an A student the whole time, you're not going to learn life because
It's
life
harder
will,
to get. Yeah. If you're an A student all along, it's harder when you have that first failure. So like,
uh,
what is this?
yeah. And in business, that's all I mean, most businesses will hit like 5 to 7 failures before they're successful.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and how do you define failure? Because, what I look at for myself as being, oh, I didn't do as well as I wanted to do. And you can't compare yourself to other people. What's your best today? Are you putting out the best thing that you can do today? Are you serving your people the way that you want to, or the way that they need to be served or have asked for? Then you're making progress, and just keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Yes. One win a day is all we need. And that's what I help people
Mm,
kind of get off that when you look in the mirror, when you feel like, I I suck, you know, like
Yeah, those I
what,
am statements. Oh,
the I am like looking at yourself. I
mm-hmm.
mean, actually, like I want to focus on one win a day. I tell my clients from my students, like that's a given. When you look in the mirror in the morning, I want those I am beautiful, I am successful, I am loved, I am worthy,
Yes.
I am enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once you start
Enough.
developing that relationship with yourself, when you look at yourself, your
Mm-hmm.
subconscious immediately changes. And
Yeah.
that's one of the easiest things you can do. It sounds cheesy and it's very uncomfortable. It feels really
It is
weird.
uncomfortable, but it
It feels,
works.
yes, it works.
Talk to
And
yourself
so,
like you would your bestie.
yeah,
Use kindness and yeah, lift them up.
yeah. It helps. It really helps with that,
Yeah.
because I used to be my worst critic. I still am.
Yeah.
I'm very like I try to be a perfectionist and I had to ditch the perfectionism. I have to ditch, the constant chatter in my head about
Yeah.
critiquing and worrying and it was like a bad cycle,
Yeah.
and when I finally quieted the mind with the 9 steps, and doing these activities, putting myself first in the morning, doing my power hour, doing my IMs,
Yeah.
doing my meditations, looking at my dream board, looking at my goals, really focusing
Yeah.
on what it takes to get me there, I the chatter gets quieter.
Mm, love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
totally,
helps.
totally love that. Starting your day out like that. That's fantastic.
Hmm.
A quick meditation. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn out thing. Just a
Yeah.
quick meditation, a quick affirmation, something grounding. Get yourself out in the sunshine.
Yes, earth.
Hmm. Yeah.
I love it. It
Movement.
helps. I love walking around barefoot. I'm in Mexico, so I take my dogs to the beach every morning. I get to get earthed. Yay, by the beach. I did it when I was in
Right.
Arizona in the desert. At like 5 a.m., I would go out with my dog and get in the desert and just soak up the beautiful
Mm.
sunshine and stand in the light and just get
Hmm.
recharged and just breathing in and doing yoga and mindful practices, it really
Hmm.
will help manifest. First, you need to get super clear, and that's how you can do it
Yeah.
for your vision to manifest. And if you continue doing that and you keep that momentum, everything starts coming to light, which is
Yeah.
so exciting.
It's all good things. Very cool. So what have you
Yeah.
got going next? What's next for you?
Well, today, or that's why I'm in Mexico, the event center. So we're doing retreats, weekend business
Oh,
accelerators.
nice.
So they get to stay at the luxury 5-star resort, Las Palomas. And
Nice.
then we have a 10-hour Saturday where we get in the boardroom and we develop the mindset, the live plan, the business GPS, and the billion-dollar branding strategy, and they get their websites, their team, their branding reports, and their business GPS. So they have like their strategy, their action
Wow.
items, their accountability, and then they join the group, and then we meet once a week to follow up on the goals, on their business strategies, problems, pain points. They get pretty much consulting, an hour free consulting every week for their businesses. And
Hmm.
so we're going to do the luxury business accelerator events here in Mexico. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds yummy.
Yes. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure because think of the transformation that people will experience and they're meeting new friends and getting accountability partners and
Yes.
new friends for life for sure.
Yes. And resources and tools and people that will like we have some great consultants like Brian, the CEO of Admanity, who owns the billion-dollar branding portal, which is high end. He'll be there. He's doing, I have like 5 experts. I might have someone from Kevin Harrington's team because he's our
Wow.
shark.
Okay.
And he has, yeah, so for funding for people that want to get international licensing and things like that.
Okay.
And then we have Alan, who's this former Zen monk. He's a mindset and inner fitness guru. So he'll do part of the mindset shift at the front. So it's the
Uh-huh.
4 P's: power, position, power, planning, positioning, and profits. That's what
Okay.
it's the 4 P's. And so I have experts that come in that help. with each of those areas too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So, were you on Shark Tank? Did you present and that's how you got connected with Kevin?
No, it was so crazy. It was during COVID.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I started this business accelerator in my woman cave in Beaverton.
I love it.
Literally, because I stopped having
Your
to drive
she
to the office.
shed.
Yeah, my she shed. And it was like, I had my little laptop, and I was helping like these leadership organization. And I it's like broke off into my own little accelerator group. And there ended up being 25 or 30 people that went through that were like so excited. And they did all these videos and testimonials for me and just thought like, and then some of
Oh,
them were just graduated high school and it's COVID. They have
oh,
nothing to
that's so
do.
cool.
They have nowhere to go. Everyone's
Yep.
lost. Everyone's like, I don't know. My business is
Mhm.
failing. So we started all these new businesses from ranging from 18-year-old to like 70-year-olds.
Yeah.
And we were all in one group together. And I did this video on YouTube and it went viral. It got like 1.8 million views.
Holy
And then like a week
cow.
later, Kevin's agent called me and said, "Hey, we saw your video on the 5-Star Business Accelerator, which is the investor pitch. It's the investor pitch. So I was teaching them how to pitch their business and I used this template that I
Uh-huh.
put together. And Kevin said, if everyone did that before they pitched the shark, they would fund 80% more businesses if they would just do what I teach in those 5 steps. And he
Oh
said
my
that would save
gosh.
everyone so much time and they would fund more businesses if everyone had that packet that I helped them
Uh-huh.
put together. So he's like, I would like you to come to my show because he has his own TV network, Shark TV,
Yeah.
and in Florida. He's
Okay.
Tampa, and but it was COVID, and
Oh,
I was
no
like, I'm
travel.
not gonna fly. I
No.
can't I can't fly out. And he's like, okay, well, I'll just do an endorsement. So he did an endorsement for me in his studio, the first one, and it was like it hit home. It was like, oh my God, I'm
Mm.
doing something right. Oh my God, I was like so grateful. I was like, this really means I'm
There it
doing
is.
something right. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got a shark who just pulled me. I wasn't looking for him. I didn't find him on an ad. He wasn't endorsing anyone then. Like he
Uh-huh.
literally was like breaking off into his new business ventures.
Yeah.
And it was just like that's what shifted my life when I knew that my manifestation and my changing of my life
Yep.
and that now then
Yep.
I was isolating, I was helping all these people start their businesses now and I was feeling joyful and free and happy
Oh,
internally even
yes.
though I was stuck at home in COVID, I felt freer than I
You
ever
were
had
making a
been.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
so, yeah, so he just did that endorsement for me and it went viral on YouTube and everyone just started joining. And then he called me again a year later and he said, okay, because the flights are back. He's like, I want you to come to my new studio in Tampa. And
mhm.
his buddy, Bobby, um, who is kind of a big celebrity producer guy, he set
Okay.
that all up for me and
Oh,
they flew me out and I went to his studio and then he interviewed me.
oh, wow. Oh my
Yeah, and
gosh.
he's been on my
How,
podcast like 5 times too. He
oh,
comes and
that's
he
cool.
yeah, and he does it all for free. He doesn't make me pay him. And everyone's like, "How did you do that?" I was like, "I don't know. He likes me, I guess." Because they actually gave me partnership too. So I have the Shark Team. We have our own page, like because I work
Yeah.
with investors and corporate. So I don't know. It was just an honor. Like the
It's a
way it
good
happened was like,
collaboration.
yeah, it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was just one of the best things that's ever happened to me in business, really.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That stuff, the stuff that you can't explain like that. It's
Yeah, it
everything is
happened.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're following your path, you're creating this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it
It's
is. It's
attractive.
yeah, it's been fun. Like I'm never giving up on it. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had some failures since, like the book wasn't a big hit. I spent a lot of money on marketing. I spent too much here, spent too much here.
Yeah.
Business is business. You can roll the dice, you can quantify things, you can, plan them out, but
Uh-huh.
the mechanisms of making them all run smoothly is an art. And so
Yeah.
it comes with a lot of work, a lot of
Yeah.
teamwork. And then
And
there's all these
mess.
yeah, and you got to learn to manage the mess,
It's
and then
messy.
you don't want to be a mess, but it just does. So,
It happens. Yeah. Well, it's how you learn. It's the whole,
yeah,
failing forward thing where yeah. Hopefully the failures are minor compared to the successes and to the impact that you can make. So yeah, just
yeah.
keeping all that in mind and keeping your eye on the prize.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing that vision, the end game. And for
Yes.
me, that's being of service to women, giving them those
Yes.
tools and the power that they need mentally, emotionally, financially,
Mm-hmm.
and spiritually and business wise. If you can, all get that balanced, life can
Mm-hmm.
be amazing, right? Like I feel like I'm in the flow most of the time. Ease
Oh,
and flow,
cool.
where you're just
Yeah.
soaking it up, like Abraham, Abraham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. So she's one of my mentors too, because I love listening
Oh,
to her.
cool.
Yeah. And so I like to stay in that kind of elevated, energetically clear, not try to force anymore, because I used to force things a lot, and that would
Mm-hmm.
cause a lot of failures. If things are resisting, you got to stop and wait and breathe and think about it.
Yeah,
Because
what's
I've done
happening here? Why?
yeah, why? The whys, ask five whys, and you will find the truth.
Mm-hmm. There's an
Mm,
answer for every question. There's not a question
yes.
without an answer to it. So you just have to find it.
Yeah. Yeah. And having a mentor or coach in groups. So that's like my main mission is like, I didn't know about any of that until I was like in my 20s. And then even after that, like Tony Robbins was like the only
Mm-hmm.
coach guru out
Yeah.
there for many, many years. But
Mm-hmm.
I always would get his next book. I always would go to his
Yeah.
conventions. I would always, I was just, I just wanted to fix myself so bad, like
Mm.
it was, and I'd have to say it will be your best project. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. That's a really great way to phrase that because it is.
yeah. And it's
Wow.
hard. It's work, like that's why I call it inner fitness. It's literally like going to the gym and
Okay.
picking up a dumbbell every day.
Yeah.
Right? It's literally like getting on that treadmill, working on yourself, your inner core, and your innermost desires and feelings and
Mm-hmm.
emotions. It is like going to the gym. You have to be that dedicated to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll start realizing you're flexing new muscles. You're building
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
new self-worth and self-esteem and that great vision. And you literally can reinvent yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
so
our
cool.
choice. We have the power of choice. That's our
Right.
superpower, right?
Right.
So
Free will.
So you
Mm-hmm.
make the choice. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
it's empowering when you really decide you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Can I change gears on you a little
Yeah.
bit?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so part of my podcast at the end of every episode, I ask my guest, "What's your favorite cocktail or your glass of
Yay.
wine? Like, what do you love to drink?"
Well, I'm kind of like a picky drinker, let's say.
Yes,
So
that's
I
my
only
girl.
drink one thing. I only drink Tito's
Really?
because it's dog friendly vodka.
What?
Tito's?
Dog friendly? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
They donate their proceeds to the Humane Society and to kennels and they help
Did
dogs.
that.
Tito's. Yeah. And it's light,
Okay.
and I just drink it with Sprite and a lime, or maybe a
Okay.
splash of ginger beer. I'm a simple,
Oh, ginger beer. Get a little sass.
yeah, like a little spice.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah.
do.
Have you ever tried jalapeno in there too? Like a little muddled jalapeno? That
Ooh,
it's good.
yum.
It's
I'll
really
have to try that.
spicy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cool.
like
Okay, so what
Sprite.
Sprite, like it has just a little bit of sweetness and some
Yeah,
bubble.
just a little bit. And I actually like Sprite Zero even better. So then it's
Oh
like
yeah.
guiltless drinking. It's like
Yeah, there you
80
go.
calories.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
bad.
I like guiltless drinking.
Yeah, that's a very good thing. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's a favorite memory with friends, like hanging out or with colleagues, or what memory do
Oh,
you have?
wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, the first one that just came to mind, I just got back from Africa. Um, and with my girl group, we go every year. And
Nice.
we went to what was it? Vietnam and Cambodia the year
Oh,
before. And then
wow.
this year we went to Africa, Zanzibar, Tanzania, Turkey. And
Wow.
yeah, and I mean, I love to travel with my girls. Like, I love to be free and experience new things and be on the
Uh-huh.
water. Like, we do a lot of boating and snorkeling and laying out and laughing and dancing
Oh,
and, just traveling, I guess, with friends and my
yep.
daughter and stuff. Like, that's just brings my like little warm hearts everywhere.
Oh, I love it. I love to travel too, especially with friends. My hubby and I have this group that we go at least every other year and sometimes every year, but somewhere, and it's just there's nothing like it. Just you know each other so well and you laugh at each other's whatevers.
Yeah. Be silly, goofy, and free. I love that. Where we're
Yeah.
just like, woo, magic carpet ride. Let's go. Like, we don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have fun doing
Let's
it.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what have I not asked you that you would love to share?
Um, well, can I share my info with your audience?
Absolutely, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I am taking new clients and we're doing these events, and I would love to jump on a Zoom with anyone who's looking to find a new coach or
Yeah.
the Inner Fitness Program or the 5-Star Business Accelerator.
Uh-huh.
You can check it out at my website, charitybrown.biz, and my Instagram and my YouTube channel. It's all Charity Brown Biz, B-I-Z. And also, you can find my books on Amazon, Create Clarity with Charity, and you can find my podcasts on Apple and all the other channels.
Yeah, I found you on Spotify. So
Spotify. Yeah.
yeah, cool. I will I'll include links to all of that in my show notes too so
Oh,
people can
perfect.
find you and
Okay.
yeah, fun. Well, gosh,
Yeah.
so you have people there and you're doing your thing tomorrow? Is it tomorrow that you're doing
Yeah,
the
no,
next?
we have guests here. So I'm
Okay.
doing some one-on-one coaching. So we have like a
Oh, okay.
two people but the bigger events are going to start in the spring when the weather gets
Oh,
nicer
okay.
here, because
Oh,
we
okay.
want to have everyone also have the luxury experience, not just the 10 hours in the boardroom
Yeah.
getting all
Not
their
just the
work, but
work. Yeah.
yeah, we're also going to do like the sunset cruises, the horses,
Ah,
the
nice.
banshees if they want, the quads, the beach, the luxury resort, the pools, sky
Oh,
lounges. So we're going to work all that in. So
wonderful.
it's an experience.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that does sound totally yummy. So
Yes, it
very
will be
cool.
yummy. All
Yes.
the fresh seafood.
Oh, I love that. Very cool.
Yes.
Charity, this has been so fun. I'm so glad to meet you and grateful. And I
Thanks.
am just excited for you. This is a really fun thing.
I'm excited for the next phase of life. We have to
Yeah,
keep excited about what we're doing. We're living our
exactly.
passion. Live our
Yeah,
passion.
that's
Passion
right.
helping others transform into their best self, because I did it. You can too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've heard it said both ways. Life is too short to not do what you love. I've also heard life is too long to do what you don't
But you
love.
don't. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk toward your future better self and enjoy every step.
Yeah. Because that's our superpower. We get to
Yeah.
choose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, staying optimistic and having a wonderful group of people to encourage you and mentor you and support
Yeah.
you is so key. And I have my school group where we do that. The the follow-up coaching programs where we have our groups, and
Mm-hmm.
there's so much love, that comes from everyone else, supporting each other,
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think there's any better way of growing your business.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's all about collaborations and
Mhm.
support and
Yeah.
girl
Like
power.
your amazing podcast, like this. This is
Oh,
an
thank
awesome
you.
way to do it as well. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I really get a lot of joy from hearing the stories and sharing them and lifting people up. So that's great. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's a gift.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yay, Penny. Well, we'll have to do this again. Maybe you could be
I
on
would
my show.
love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Would love that. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you again, Charity. Have so much fun in Mexico and with your clients. It's going to be amazing, I'm sure.
Yes. It's gonna be awesome.
Have
Yay.
a great day.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. That's a wrap on this episode of Penny for Your Shots. If you loved today's conversation, don't let the inspiration stop here. Get my weekly insider updates straight to your inbox. It's where I spill behind the scenes goodies, exclusive tips, and all the fun stuff I don't always share on the podcast. Sign up now at pennyforyourshots.com/insider. I'll see you in your inbox next Thirsty Thursday. Cheers.